Your capacity, your ability to handle failures is directly correlated to your confidence in your self-worth, your esteem, right? Who you are as a person. You see, when we fail, we feel bad about ourselves. We believe it says something about us, and that's a mistake. That's not real. It's what we do after the fact that matters. Now, look, I'm not okaying failure. Okay. I'm not saying it's okay. Like failure in terms of like compulsive behavior. We're not condoning any of it. We're all still culpable for what we do. When we have a failure, when we fail, it's what we do post that matters, right? Do we get back up? Do we continue to try? Or do I just lay down and accept the fate? Or do I sit there and beat myself up with shame and guilt? Imagine you're running a race, okay? Your destination is ahead. Your goal is to complete the race. And you trip and bang up your knee. Pretty bad. You get mad at yourself because you said, I told myself, I know I do that. I knew I told myself I was going to pick my feet up during the race. I didn't do it. You have two choices, right? You can sit there and be mad and beat yourself up, right? Look down on yourself, let your enzos talk, or you can choose to get up. And even if you have to walk it, continue towards your goal, towards the finish line. You see, success is not about how little you act out. Don't get me wrong. Don't want you acting out. It's not that. I measure success based on what you're doing, your response to things, how you handled them. I had a guy the other day go, I feel like I shouldn't be having any urges, and that makes me feel really bad about myself. I was like, it's not about that. It's about what you do when you get them. And if you're doing the right thing, if you're handling it right, eventually they will decrease with time. It's not about, gentlemen, it is not about the failures, about what you do in response to it. Okay. You want to talk about real? Okay. Like you were talking about, like Chris was talking about defensiveness. Now, I can probably guarantee you that you'll get defensive again at some point, right? The question is, what do you do when you discover that that's happening or has happened? It's not, oh, I need to do better. You do. You want to, you have the desire to do so. But that's not it. It's, okay, what can I do to alter it? What can I do to fix it? What can I do to tweak it to get myself to where I need to be? Right? Where deception comes in is we're failing over and over and we're not doing anything to change it. Over and over and over. And that's my question to you is, when you have a failure, what are you doing? Like, one of the things I do not like about myself, okay, I'm going to, I bring you guys in, is if I drop something, break something, I go, Daniel, what are you doing, man? Come on. That's not good. I need to break that. Because we're going to fail. I'm going to drop things. I'm going to break things. It's going to happen. You're going to make mistakes and accidents, right? It's going to happen. It's just a reality of it. We need to be more compassionate and gentle with ourselves in that space. Learn from it. Where did I fail? Where am I hitting the same pothole? But as long as I continue down that road, as long as I continue to go towards the finish line, it doesn't matter if you walk it. Like, your anticipation is to run. Okay, I'm going to walk it because that's why my knee is just shot, it's banged up. I can't run it, but I'm gonna hobble my way to it if I have to. It's that kind of commitment that gets you to where you need to be. It's those men that will arrive at the finish line and think about how good you feel when you do. I ran that Tough Mudder, 13 miles, 30, 40 obstacles, tore my ligament in the arch of my foot. Didn't really even know that's what happened. Figure I just hurt it a little bit. I got to a point where it was hurting so bad. Decided to finish. I hobbled the rest of the way. The team went ahead of me. They finished because I wanted them to get their time, and I just hobbled to the end. I could have given up. This is not me patting myself on the back. It's an example. And there were times where it was like, this hurts really bad. I don't want to keep walking on it, right? On the ball of my foot, hobbling on the ball of my foot. But that's what we do. And it's that level of authenticity that allows us to get to where we need to be. That's a part of CSI, where we're going, okay, things didn't turn out the way I wanted. I could have done things differently. I could have changed things, whatever. But I didn't. So what can I do differently next time? And not just, I'm going to do better next time. Saying that it's not worth much of anything to ourselves. It's okay, you're going to do better. Tell me how you're going to do better. What's the plan? What's the intentionality to get yourself to where you need to be? If you slip up, don't just say, I need to do better. I need to make this better. I need to do that. I need to try harder. It means nothing. Sorry, it holds no value, no weight at all. That's great. Wonderful. How are you going to get there? That's like, I need to travel to this place. Okay, how are you going to get there? I just need to travel there. Okay. Right? How are you getting there? Right? What's the plan? What's the plan? That's what we need to see. When I ran that race, I had a training plan in place to get myself ready for that race. There's a plan. I want to improve myself. I want to do this performance race, but there's a plan. There's this exercise routine that I'm going to follow, a regiment to get me ready. What are you doing to change it? What tweaks are you making? Where's the intentionality? Where are you writing this out? I'm going to do this, this, and this. And I'm going to be consistent with it. I'm going to stick with it. Failure should be a catalyst for you to review yourself and processes. Where am I at? Why did this happen? What can I do to improve it? How can I move forward? Intentionality. But what we do oftentimes, and all humans are guilty of it, is we just go, I need to do better about that. Okay, that's, great. Awesome. The follow-up question is, and how do you plan to do that? What's the plan? Because I'm going to tell you this. If you do not have a plan, gentlemen, it will not happen. Being honest. You know this too. You don't really need me to tell you this. You know this. If you don't put a plan in place, it will go nowhere. Now, I don't doubt your resolve, and I don't doubt that your intentions in the moment are real. I don't think it's lip service. I don't think you're just saying it to get out. I fully believe in the moment where you go, I really need to change that. I really need to work on that. I believe that you believe it. But the distractions of the world and life and everything else will come into play. So when I hear, yeah, I really need to work on that, great. How are you going to do that? What's the concrete, not some vague situation. We're talking about concrete. I am doing this specific thing. Like, this is something that's very important in goal setting, is that you are very specific with your goals. Very specific. What are you doing? right? You can make the declaration. I'm not saying you shouldn't say anything. It's just, okay, what's the plan? I need to do this, and here's how I'm going to do it. Like, gosh, I really need to do a better job of getting on to places on time. And here's what I'm going to do to make that happen. If there's not a plan, then it's not going to occur. It won't, sorry, won't happen. If you have a failure, it's about learning from it and putting action in place to change. Same with the potholes. Same situation. If you have a slip up, you have a failure, why did it happen? How am I going to prevent it going forward? It's about understanding yourself and challenging yourself in this way. So if you have a failure, understand the failure, accept it, own it. You may feel some kind of way about it, and that's okay as long as it's not disabling you. And then build out your intentionality to change what that is. And in that space, right, in that space, you'll end up being authentic, right? All right, let me get to these messages. You guys have been typing it up. I love it. Let's see here. So Jacob said, yes, I do, working on getting my Enzo to agree or go away. Doug said, I have loads of confidence in my aspects of my life, not so good in others lately. Want to hear about that? Nico said, a quote on failure, you need to be bad when you need to be good. Then when you're good, you need to fail. Then when you fail, you're going to figure it out. Experience isn't about what happened to you. It's about what you're going to do about what happened to you, Nikolai. Yeah, I love that. I think that's so important. I love that. It's not, you're right. It's our response to it, not our reaction, but our response to it. Chris said, with that being said, my self-esteem is in the negative numbers, but we know this. It's one of my Enzos. And we're going to talk about that, Chris. So let's talk about that on your call. Craig said, I'll add, I'm a great man, but I've learned to be humble. I can still be better every day. Well, that's CSI, Craig, right? You can say you're a great man and not be boastful about it, which is what you're pointing out, but still be better as a CSI element, right? MLT, I feel like I'm a good man, but I still feel guilty about my failures, past and present, future. Hypocritical, maybe. Yeah, possibly. Or maybe recognizing my failures as the failures they are is part of what makes me a good man. Nobody's perfect, almost nobody. And yeah, no one is. I think that, we need to talk through those failures, what those are, and kind of discuss that. Okay. I want to work on y'all's self-esteem. I want to work on your self-worth. It's very important. Christy, failure is an opportunity to improve growth, learn, better yourself, examine what happened. The failure is never negative as long as you took the experience and energy and used it for something positive. Never forget that we are here, part of the 2%. Thank you for reminding that, Chris, for putting that out there. We are on the right path towards breaking the cycle of our compulsion. Awesome. Love that. So good. Chris said, do the work. I'm going to do it is a cop out. Yeah, I'm going to do it. No, do it. Chris said, yes, sometimes the obvious does need said. Sometimes the obvious is so obvious that we are oblivious to the obvious. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Like I said, I'm not opposed to declaring it, right? There just needs to be a plan that follows it. And he said, I always used to wonder how in the world do you just become confident and feel good about yourself? I love that. How do you just, right? Fixing your appearance or getting a nice car or whatever doesn't do it. In my experience, living your life the way you know deep down is right for you is what reshapes you into someone you like. It's small, right? The journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step, right? So it's a process. When you see someone that's confident, who's worked on themselves, that's work. That's something that occurred, right? They made that happen. Craig said, I learned a real plan is a goal with a time frame. Yep, Without the time frame, it is not a plan. Yep, exactly. It needs to have a goal. I love that. Thanks for adding that into this. It's very important. Chris T said also, for a sports analogy that relates to potholes and failures, everyone remember that Michael Jordan didn't make his high school basketball team. Think about how much of a pothole or failure that must have felt like to him. And remember, he didn't let it discourage him from getting better. And he went on to be the GOAT of the sport afterwards. Yeah, that's a great, I love that example. Good putting that out there. That's just winning. It's pushing, pushing, pushing. Love that. What is my objective and when will it be done? Absolutely. Good. Doug said, there is no phoning it in this program. Daniel holds us accountable. And I'm grateful for that. This shit is hard. It is hard, but it is worth every bit of it. And you are doing a great job. You're here, right? You're here doing that work. And that's what's important. Next week's Gent topic is going to be a fiery one. So make sure you come. The last couple ones have been kind of a little bit on the calmer side, but next week is going to be pretty lit up. We are worth it. That's exactly right, Chris. And I want everyone to feel that. So I'm going to get fired up on the next call. So get ready for that. I'm going to send that out via Voxer the day of, preferably probably in the morning, to tell you what that topic is. Is it toxic masculinity? Are you like looking at my stuff, Jacob? Are you in IT messing with my stuff? Chris said you were just resting your voice. Thanks, I appreciate that. Yeah, I can get kind of hoarse from that stuff. For sure, I can get fired up. So yeah. Anyway, I love that topic. Yeah, it's a good topic. I can get pretty fired up on that. I'm not going to say. Wink, wink, okay. And he said, I've been wondering this for a long, long time. Is it gent like gentleman or JYNT? So it is gent like gentleman, but it's spelled JYNT. It's just meant to kind of have a little bit of it's actually trademarked. Just have a little bit of a different spelling and catch to it. So thanks for clarifying that. So it's good. All right, so we'll go ahead and wrap up. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate the work you're doing. I have your Voxers. I'm going to respond to those. So I appreciate your patience there, getting caught up on that. So this week, really pay attention to the thoughts in your head around failure or anything like the like. Really kind of address yourself. Start asking yourself, do I love myself? Do I like who I am? Because these are questions we need to ask. I don't want people walking around with low self-esteem, low worth. Okay, I want you to be really empowered as to who you are. Hope you guys have a wonderful night. Oh, wait, one more. Sorry. Have a good night, gentlemen. Clever, Nico. Clever. Hope you guys have a wonderful night, and I'll be talking to you soon. Y'all take care.